What's going on, you guys? It is Coach Ike, and we have another edition of Everything Uncovered. Man, I am sick, but look, I wanted to continue to bring you guys value, man, and I believe that this story, my guests, their story is truly inspiring. It's definitely going to help you through your journey or whatever you're going through in life because my guest, his story is truly amazing and it's awesome. I can't wait for you guys to hear. But before we get into that, recall, fellas, ladies, now flag football is here. You guys are able to partake DB training Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 o'clock. Make sure you guys reach out to me, social media at Coach Ike's DB training on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Thread, whatever it is. Reach out. We train at 6 o'clock. Those are group trainings. We also have competition days on Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Make sure to follow and subscribe so you can know when those workouts will be posted or where the location will be at. You want to make sure you guys are not missing out. We also have DB training that is virtually. So if you're not in the area, we also have programs for you to help you reach your goals, regardless where you're at, where you're located. There is no excuse. We also have our DB mentorship program where you get to get more hands-on football IQ, terminology, financial literacy, understanding recruiting and branding yourself, the player. Okay. We also have that in the defensive back mentorship program, which you guys are missing out if you guys are not in it. A lot of value. People are changing the game, the learning curve. They're actually able to learn so much faster because everything is on that platform to help them reach their goals of getting to the next level or to produce at a higher level of where they're at. So I want to make sure you guys are not missing out on that. Like I said, truly excited about my guest. We played together at Mount Sac. Um, his story is truly amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Without further ado, I want to introduce Kerel James. Can you hear me, Kerel?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
My guy, what's going on, man?
Oh man, all is well. How you doing, Ness? Long
Doing
time
good.
no see, bro.
I know, man. Last time I saw you, man, was it the Christmas party you had at the house?
It was. Yeah, man. And I had yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
That was
man.
that was a while ago. That was
Yeah,
a while ago.
it's been a minute, bro. I gave an introduction a little bit, man, saying how your story is truly amazing because, we talked about it, but I like, bro, to see the transformation in you, it's crazy, and we're gonna get into it, man. Your journey, it needs to be talked about because
Yeah,
everybody else can relate to you because not everything works out the way we want it to, but we can change the outcome of all things. So before we get into what you're
absolutely.
doing now, what you have accomplished, I want to go back to the beginning, bro. And you tell me, man, Karel, how was it growing up for you? Your upbringing, how was that for you, man?
Um, my upbringing, it was I had both my parents in there, but they worked a lot. They worked a lot to keep a roof over my head and food and clothes and all that stuff handled. So I had a lot of free time because they worked so much. And with that free time, I was one of those mischievous kids, and I got into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was also exposed to a lot of stuff because I moved around a lot. Like I spent a lot of time originally from LA, but I had moved out towards the Pomona area,
Mhm.
and but I spent a lot of time in South Central LA and my summers in Chicago.
Yeah.
So I experienced a lot of different stuff just within that itself. You know what I mean? Just different type of people having different struggles and I experienced all that young. So yeah, that's pretty much how it was because I went to a bunch of different schools. I never really sat around at the same school as well. So I did meet a lot of people doing that too. So yeah, it was never not like it was stability as far as like with my home life, but not like I was always going to different schools and different atmospheres, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Now, can you talk about that a little bit more? Because I had a coach on, they talked about why they didn't take different jobs, and it's because they had a daughter. And it was like they didn't want to have their daughters keep moving around because daughters are much harder to make friends. There's like their sons, they can make it playing sports or whatnot. So
Yeah,
can you like break that down of how that transition, even though your family was there, your household as far as your mother and father, but outside, because we know that's where you also get influence as well.
100%. Um, yeah, if so basically, hold on, what exactly are you asking me so I'm clear of what I'm answering right now? You're
So
asking me.
yeah, how was that? How was that? Can you break that down? How was it for you to move around?
Oh, moving around, yeah, different schools. Oh, it was okay. So yeah, it wasn't hard on me because, as you said, playing sports was what kept that's one of the things that I always have friends because I always play sports. I play sports all the time to keep me out of stuff, and that's when I got in stuff when I wasn't playing sports. And it's funny you say that because my sister and I never went to the same school either. So we lived in the same household, but we went to different schools up until a certain point, and then we went to the same school for probably maybe a couple of years. But other than that, we never went to the same school. She was always in a different area than I was, and for me, it didn't bother me at all because I was used to it. You know what I mean? And I always made friends. But the only thing with that was it was keeping the relationships because it wasn't like back. It's not like now where I can go hit somebody on IG and find them and look them up. You know what I mean? You had to either call their house or remember their phone number if you didn't. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it was a little bit different back then. You know what I mean? But it definitely affected how I was able to interact with different people because I always had to learn on the road, on the run
Mhm.
fast. You know what I mean? Just especially in the different sports that I played because I played baseball. So playing baseball, you're dealing with a different dynamic of people. I played soccer as well, so I dealt with a different dynamic of people. Playing basketball and all these other sports that I played, it was just so many different dynamics that mixed in. And the funny thing is I didn't even play baseball. I mean, football when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't play football until later on in my life. You know what I mean? So but it definitely affected uh how I interacted with people, and you know, uh, but it was always I feel it was good though because I got to meet people like you, especially when I travel. Like I know a lot of people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And but yeah.
Nah, man, and it's interesting because when I read this article and it said you only played 2 years of football in high school, and they said it said your freshman year and your senior year, and of course you played other sports prior to that. But why did you only play 2 years of football?
Okay, so that is because freshman year, I got kicked out of school.
Gotcha.
So I pretty much I was in continuation school, and
Uh-huh.
so my freshman year I had played, and then after that I went to continuation school, and then I didn't get back on the field until my senior year.
Got you, got you, got
Yeah, yeah,
you. And what
yeah.
high
And
school did you attend your senior year?
my senior year I attended Claremont. I finished at Claremont High School.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So essentially, because of course you're not on the field and things of that sort, not until your senior year, the
yeah,
recruiting process was not there for you exactly. So
yeah.
what made you then like, look, I'm about to go to Mount Sac because I know Claremont not too far, but
Hmm.
anybody who know Mount Sac is a power school as far as football. And
Yeah.
at this time, you're a little older than us. I remember when we first got up there, I'm like, man, hold on. I'm like, there ain't no way. This nigga, this a grown man right here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
so what made
Yeah.
you attend Mount Sac? And then what made you even come out to play football? Like, what was your mindset going during that process?
So, um, high school, I saw people get out and get scholarships. Quite a few, like there was a few people that got did the recruitment. The recruitment was not they did not deal with me whatsoever because I was one of those kids, especially at that time. I didn't make it easy for a coach. I'm gonna just keep it real. I did
Mm-hmm.
not make it easy for a coach to coach, and these type of coaches were the type where you needed to be up under them a little bit. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So I wasn't that kid, so I had no chance of doing that. Even though I bought it out, I had like 91 tackles and some. I don't know. I think my stats was pretty wild my senior year. But what made me go to SAC was the fact that I had actually already started school.
Mm-hmm.
I had started school at Chafee. So I'm
Gotcha.
gonna give you a quick rundown. I started school at Chafee. Then I had found myself in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up getting in trouble, for a few years. Then I had came to the conclusion, I'm like, dude, this ain't it. I
Yeah.
mean, I need something different. And so I was like, well, I'm going to try to do football because I got tired of looking up and I'm seeing people that I know in the pros. And I'm like, dude, I'm as good, if not better than this dude.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, not taking away from anything, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting up there looking at this and I'm like, dude, I can do this. Like, this, like, I'm not talking about the NFL, but I'm just like, I can ball. Like, anyhow. So I just, when I had got done, I was trying to shake, the tails of all the troubles that I had. So I was like, I'm about to go to school. That's the only thing I got. So I went to school. And remember, I didn't even play our first
Yeah.
year at all.
Yeah.
I didn't even really ball out. Because like you said, that Mount Sac had superfluous amount of talent. It
Mm-hmm.
was an abundance. Like, and that's no lie. And at all different positions. And the reason why I decided to go there is because my cousin, rest in peace, we were sitting up there one day and he was like, bro, what you want to do, man? You want to go out here and pretty much do some foolishness, or you want to go? Should I go over here and do some and go sign up for this ball? And
Yeah.
he was like, bro, man, you tripping? You need to go. You need to go sign up for some ball. And me and him rolled up in there, and we had a talk with Jabs. And I told him my situation. I kept it 100 with him. I was like, look, I've been in a lot of trouble. I'm just trying to get out. This is my age. This is what you know what I mean? And he was totally understanding and accepting. And once he didn't give me any weird feeling, any looks, any judgment, and I was like, I'm all out. You know what I mean? And I just stepped on the field, and that's how I got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So how old were you by the time you got to Mount Sac? That what was that? 08? 08 year?
yeah. I was all right. Yep. I was 25 because I think me and Rich, remember Rich?
Rich.
Yeah, me and Rich was like, you guys used to call Rich the old man. I was
Yeah.
lucky I looked a little younger. I was lucky older than Rich. So
No,
yeah, I was 25.
but
Yeah,
I remember though because like you said, it was a lot of talent, and at this time you were trying to play safety, and even Bruce Irvin, which we talked about this story when Coach Meat was there. The thing is, Bruce could play. Bruce
yeah,
just didn't. Coach Meat didn't feel like he could play safety. I don't know for what our reason. So it had
yeah,
nothing to do with like dudes couldn't play. It was just that's how stacked we was. Like Bruce
yeah.
to DN. So
Mhm.
but I remember during that time, bro, you was the most positive like person ever. Like if people meet Kerel and they don't know you, they be like, "Oh man, this dude is trouble." But bro,
Yeah,
you the
yeah.
you the nicest dude ever, bro, in the world. Like, bro, you give your shirt off your back so fast for everybody, bro. And I appreciate that about you, bro. And like I said, the growth that we seen, like it just took off because that first year, like you said, we didn't get too much run. You didn't get too
Mhm.
much run. But
Yeah,
that sophomore year, bro, it went crazy. But
yeah.
before we even get into our sophomore year, people truly don't understand what the JUCO life is because
Mhm.
when you're on scholarship somewhere, things is given to you.
Yeah,
I say it like this: you can have a baby with a scholarship and you be good. Like life can like
yeah,
still be okay. You have a
yeah,
baby at
definitely.
JUCO, like your life is almost over. It's got like you got to have support and whatnot.
Yeah,
And life
100%.
happens in JUCO anyways. So can you explain the JUCO lifestyle on your end and how was your over experience on campus and off campus for you?
Um, so the JUCO, being that I had already kind of had a little run with it before, I had a different outlet. I was trying not to play with it as much as I did the first time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I knew what I had to lose, and I didn't know what I was going to gain at all. To keep it
Mhm.
100 with you, I was literally there just to shake that tail and to try to find my way to something else. I didn't have any idea what was to come after that. It's a struggle, especially being so close to where, the home. I'm
Mhm.
so close to home. I'm so close to where I've been getting in trouble. I'm so close to distractions. I'm so close to, you know what I mean? So it was a little tempting to fall back into, or get distracted. It was easy to get distracted, but I knew what I was there for.
Mhm.
And that's what kept me grounded, because I did get distracted a few times. I was pretty much distracted that whole first year. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Especially after I had that knee injury, because excuse me, I think that's where we had our first run in. You had your knee injury as well.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And exactly. So yeah, I think the JUCO though, the JUCO life, especially me just looking at it from people who are out of state. People don't understand. Going out of state, it's more of a on campus type deal. But when you come out here to Cali and you try to do JUCO, it's none of that. You paying your own bills. You have to have somewhere to stay. You better, if you're not staying with your parents and you don't have them to help you out, then you are living the lifestyle of a grown man and an adult, and still trying to be a college student and still trying to be a student athlete at the same time. And that's a very difficult thing to juggle, especially if you have distraction. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So yeah, yeah.
Nah,
JUCO life, especially in Cali, is it's a lot different.
yeah, you hit it on the head. I try to explain it to people all the time. And the JUCO route is not for the faint of heart. Like you really
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to grind through some tough moments in life, bro. So
Yeah.
sophomore year, man. Um, I remember in the summertime, like, bro, not even just in the weight room, but just on the field. This leader, you now playing backer. You already started playing backer towards the end
Yeah.
your freshman year, sophomore year, you made that transition. You were the leader
Yeah.
essentially of the defense. Like I
Yeah.
remember, I remember vividly just now. Coach Young was like, "Man, we don't know who we gonna play." He was like, "Man, coach, put me in there." Like, man, like I got this. Sure enough,
Yeah.
sure enough, once you got that position, it was on and running. So
Yeah.
we knew who our leader was from that position on. Can you explain, bro, what clicked for you, man? What was that finally went off and you like, I can do this?
Um, Remember when we had spring break, when we came back for spring ball, and I came in late, and we had a new coach because me was gone. We had what's his name, Tay,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I came in there. I was overweight, a little slow, and Tay like, nigga, you ain't playing for me, bro. you can't play. You can't play DB for me, bro. And to keep it 100 with you, that fired me up because I'm like, cool, I'm
Yeah.
gonna play. I'm
Mhm.
gonna play. I might not play for you, and I didn't experience this last year. I didn't rode the pond. I didn't play all the special teams and got out there and bust my ass on special teams. Oh, excuse me, bust my behind on special teams and all that stuff. But no, not this year. This year I'm going to get some burn. And as soon as Coach Rod was like, "I'll take him," I was like, "Yeah, we it's on from there." And
Yeah.
lit that fire, and I was not going to miss that opportunity. And then I didn't even know anything about linebacker.
You led the team. You led the team in tackles. I remember Elko. What you had two.
Oh
You had a pick to the house and then a fumble recovery to the house. You
yeah,
made first team all our conference. You made first team linebacker. So
yeah,
I mean, you balled out that sophomore year.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Incredible. And like you said, that fire and building that light. And me and Malcolm, I had Malcolm on. We talked about it. How Dante he would do that though. He sparks. He
Yeah, no,
sparks.
I love him for that, man. I respect it because I'm not the type that like, and like you said, this is a part of where it's not for the faint of heart. If a coach tell you that and you go home and boohoo to your parents and you go off to the next college and you trying to go get where someone's gonna coddle you, you're not gonna make it too far anyway, because life just doesn't work like that. But you have to let things like that inspire you, because I took it personal. I was like, that's fine. I'm not gonna play for you, but I'm going to play. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna play, you know what I mean? And when I get out there, you're gonna wish I was playing for you.
Mm-hmm,
You know what
mm-hmm.
I mean? So
Now
that's
we
just the
definitely
attitude I had.
we definitely needed you at linebacker for sure, bro, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah.
And it all worked out because
Mhm.
'08 we went to the championship game, we lost. Like you said, you didn't play too much. But that '09 year, we get back to the championship game. We're 13-1 at this time playing San Mateo. Now, I
Yeah.
remember this game was one of the worst weather games I've ever played in my life. Rain
Man.
was just like slapping us
Sideways.
always,
It was
always,
coming sideways.
sideways and all. We in a
Yeah.
tight battle. They ran a wing T. Our offense is a passing offense. We really can't do anything because the weather was terrible. But because they run the wing T, you get a lot of action. Now,
Hmm.
I remember that you end up getting hurt. Bro, didn't you come back in the game though?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
tore your bicep, right?
I tore my bicep. I got half a bicep right
Bro.
here.
And I remember because I don't recall when it happened, but you was like, nah, I ain't coming off the field. And then every time on the sideline, bro, he'd be like, like I gotta gut through. I gotta gut through, bro. What made you in that
Yeah.
moment like, bro, I'm not coming off that field, man? What was going on to your head, man?
That was it for me. That was it. I ain't. This is my last game of football. I'm 20, what, 6 now, probably. I came in at 25. I'm 26. I'm not. There ain't no colleges looking at me in my mind. This is my last time to do it, so I'm gonna do it because
Yeah.
I think I did it in the first quarter when we ran a stunt,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and they popped, and I actually tore it twice. I tore it at the top and the bottom, and the next play I went in and they tore again, and then they pulled me out. And then he was like, "Yeah," he was like, "No, you ain't going. You can't play." I'm like, "No, dude, just give me some, something for the pain,
Yeah.
and we gonna get back in there." But that's what I was thinking, dude. Because so look, there's a saying that my old coach said in high school, and I didn't even like this. I didn't really get along with him. But like I said, I take what they say. And he used to say this: "You don't get it back," and that stuck with me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, "You don't get this moment back."
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna let it go.
Nah, that's real. That's real. So
Yeah.
we end up winning that game, the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can tell you about my experience. What was your experience though? Like with everything you've been through in life up until that moment, what was that feeling for you though, bro?
Um, it was it was great. It was a really great. It's very hard to describe because I was dealing with so many different emotions. Just like it was actually my birthday too. I ain't. I, if Yeah, it was actually my birthday. So I was like, what I mean? I did it. I I had shook the tail because I had shook the tail the season before. I balled out. We got to the ship. We did everything we said we was going to do, and it was like a feeling of bliss because I mean I think the rain even stopped after the game. Like
Yep.
we had one like 3 minutes, the sun came out and it stopped raining. We scored the only touchdown we scored. Then after that, it's still raining. Then at the end of the game, I think the sun came out and it was kind of just like symbolic of what just happened. You know what I mean? We just weathered a really bad storm and we made it. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much how I felt.
Yeah, yeah. Now I remember sure we was all crying. We were so happy, man. We were so happy in that locker room, cold, shivering, like, man,
Yeah,
we gotta get back
yeah.
on this bus. It was a long ride. It was a long ride,
Exactly.
but
It
man,
was a
we
long
were so
ride.
so ecstatic, bro. So you ball out your sophomore year now. And now during this time though, while we practicing for the championship game and prior, schools are coming out to check us out. I mean, I remember it used to be boatloads because at this
Oh
time
yeah,
it's only two schools that's playing in JUCO in Southern California, and that was San Mateo and us. So
yeah.
everybody was coming out. What was that recruiting process for you? And then how was it since you didn't have that experience in high school?
So I kind of it kind of was reminiscent of high school to the first part because well actually it's a little different because a couple of D1s I guess had inquired about me and then once they found out my status obviously they couldn't deal with me because I had already started my clock I didn't have anything I had 1 year left literally 1 year, and I had nothing. That's nothing. They can't do anything with me. But for JUCO, the way JUCO was set up, they go by semesters. So I would still get to play three, which is 2 seasons. Anyhow, back to the recruiting. I just literally was watching them come after all y'all, boom, boom, left and right. I didn't feel no way. I was happy because I didn't expect nothing. Not at all. I was like, in my heart, I was thinking, I was like, that would be dope if it happened, but I didn't expect it because I kind of, you know what I mean? That's just where I was at in life. Then after that happened, that's when I guess the D2s and the D3s and the NIAAs start coming in a little bit after the process.
Mhm.
So after the D1s left and we came back, man, they was flooding. They was coming in left and right from D2. And that's caught me off guard because I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I was like, that was a great feeling within itself because this is something that, obviously especially a football player, in high school, you looking for letters. You go, hey, coach, you get a letter, especially someone get a letter, you over there looking like, where'd you get a letter from? You know what I mean? Not like it means anything. It don't mean nothing, but just getting a letter, you know what I mean? I didn't get letters. So that was kind of like me getting those letters. I was like, oh, this is dope. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So just that experience was fun to be able to have it still. Even that late in life, it was still a great experience just to see, to feel like, my to feel wanted as an athlete. You know what I mean? So that was great. Um, they didn't fly me out too much like the other ones did. I did get flown out to a couple of them, which was Fayetteville. They flew me out, and I think that's the only one that flew me out because D2s don't really have a lot of money like that. So you kind of with D2s, you kind of got to do your research and be aware of what's going on in that process when you're doing that route. But I mean, with anything in life, you should be doing your research. So, but yeah, that's how that process went. You know,
So, Kerel, can you do a quick favor? Because I know what you're talking about as far as, starting your clock. Can you educate on why, the D1s necessarily couldn't do anything with you because you had only really 1 year? Can you really break that down for the listeners?
okay. So basically, when I had went to the first JUCO, I took a full set of classes, and so once that starts your clock. So from there, once you take a full load of classes, you have 5 years to play for uh, the sport. And my 5 years was eaten up after that clock started when I was, in and out doing getting in trouble. So when I had came back, I had, let's say, 2 years left on my NCAA
Yeah.
five-year clock, and that first year was eaten up when I played with you guys.
Mhm.
And so all I had was a medical red shirt and this 1 year left.
Mhm.
And there's, like I said, unless I was just that awesome, and I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't worth the risk. There's very even if you that awesome, they're not going to risk it on you
I
because
get it.
you can still get injured. There's so many things that can happen. They're not gonna gamble that on you at all. It don't matter who you are. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I don't. That 5 year clock ran out for me, and how works in JUCO, they do it by semesters. So
Mhm.
however many semesters you have a full load. So say you take a full load here, and you take a full load off, or take a couple of semesters off or a year off, and then come back and take a full load. Then they'll just count those 2 semesters that you took the classes towards your years played or your years in school.
Yeah, so thank you for breaking that down because I tell kids all the time you have to be very conscious of you starting your clock and then leaving to go to different schools. A lot of kids
Yeah,
and so like Karel said, make sure you guys are doing your research on what does that look like and which schools you want to attend. Um,
yeah, yeah. Especially in JUCO, I would definitely recommend um, don't take a full load. Just start off with a half load, figure out what you want to do, how it's looking, and then when you're determined what you're going to do, that you're going to play, that you're going to get burned, because sometimes you might not get burned, sometimes you might need that learning curve, and let's just be real. Like my year sitting down was a learning curve year. You know what I mean? And everybody, you know what I mean. Everybody's different, but give yourself a chance. You're not giving yourself a chance if you jump in there and thinking, oh, that man, I was that man in high school. Well, I'm gonna be that man right now. You know what I mean, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. You know what I mean? Even
So,
if you are that man, because stuff happens.
and what Kerel talking about is like gray shirting. Okay, so you're not taking 12 units, you're taking like
Mm.
below 12 units. So that way you have a chance. You don't start your clock on the field, nor do you start your clock in the classroom. So that's what he's talking about, you guys. And
Yes.
that's great advice because I tell people that all the time. But bro, you chose to attend Eastern Central University. Now you went with a
Yeah.
couple other guys up there, Austin, Amir. I believe Vander
Mhm.
Tyler was up there with y'all too,
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah, 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 yeah. Or yeah, or Tyler was up there. Vanderzee, Ike
Ike was
was
up
up
there.
there.
Yeah,
Ike
yeah.
was there. Ike went up there before me. Um, and then there was another dude. The brother of one of our linemen went up there.
Harris.
Ramos. Remember our center Ramos? I
And the
think.
name is not the name. I gotta see his face. I gotta see his face.
Yeah, yeah. He's not. You'll remember him when you see him. But
Yeah.
he came from Stack as well.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
what made you choose there, and then what was your experience there? Because now is this your first time like now being out of Cali and being somewhere long term that's not home?
Yeah, for the most part. Well, I mean, like I said, I traveled a lot. I've been to Chicago because a lot of my family's from Chicago, so I spent a lot of summers out there. So it's not yes and no because this is different. This is the country. It's not Chicago. Chicago is not. This is another city, big city. It's the Midwest, but it's still the big city. Where I
Yeah.
went to was a itty bitty town
Uh,
where everybody knows everybody. So no, this was a big. This was very different. And what made me make that decision was I had a spoke with my grandmother about this because I was down to uh, Fayetteville State, Clark Atlanta. They wanted me and ECU. There was a few other ones that wanted me, but this is what I had narrowed it down to these three. Um, I didn't have a good feeling about dealing with the people on the other teams. I'm not really going to go into trying to expose nobody because that's not, you know what I mean? I didn't have a good feeling about the other ones. And when I spoke to my grandma, she was like, you need to go somewhere new, experience something different. And she said, if you go to Clark Atlanta, you're gonna get into stuff because it's so much stuff for you right there. You're right in between two major colleges in a big city, and you know what I mean. It's not that's not different for you.
yeah.
And so after sitting back on, it, I sat on it for like I think I slept on it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to Oklahoma, and that's how it ended up. And the experience was great, honestly. I met a lot of different people from different walks of life. And that within itself, I made friends that I still keep in contact with out there, just out of from the Texas area, the Oklahoma area. It was very shell shocking though.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Like you thing on Sundays, everything's shutting down. So you better have everything locked and loaded. You know what I mean? This is the sun like this is when we were in the Bible Belt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So this is like, I came from where there's like liquor stores on every corner. This is a church on every corner over here.
Yeah.
And this is they this everything is just different. It's a lot slower. It's a lot easier to finding yourself trying to get into trouble if you don't if you don't realize that that slow pace of life can be useful. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you need to slow yourself down, and
Mhm.
that's one thing I kind of found out after I left there. I was like, I needed that slow pace for a minute because that one helped me put some stuff into perspective that I didn't do because I was always moving and shaking. I'm moving and shaking, especially in the JUCO. I'm playing ball. Plus, after that, I'm doing what I was doing on the. You know what I mean? So um, that really that slowed me down. You know what I mean? It was cool though because it was a good experience because I experienced it with people that I knew, like you said, Amir, AD, all the other people from SAC. You know what I mean? It's like AD was my roommate, so we were going through it together. You know what I mean? So yeah,
So So man, talking to AD, he said the team sucked prior to y'all getting up there. I don't think y'all had a
Oh,
record, but y'all essentially turned the program around. And I was reading an article, and it was saying how you became the leader, even though of course you did that at Mount Sac. But how do you think that your role had to change a little bit more there since they did not know what winning was at all?
oh man, dude, me and AD cleaned house over there. We cleaned up. Their record was so bad it wasn't even posted.
Dang.
Look, I tried to look up the record for the year before I seen it. I was like, what? I could not find it. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't because I don't think I would have went there. I
Yeah.
probably would have been like, Grandma, I'm going there, about to go to Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
But that's how bad it was. It was terrible. Like we went in there, me and they, we couldn't do it. We came from we were like little meat minions.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is no, this is not how you doing it. We couldn't do it. And so when we came in there, it was different because yeah, we kind of had to like change the attitudes of people, and that was I wasn't used to that. I was, you know what I mean, like these people were kind of okay with
Mm-hmm.
just being in a university and playing university football,
Yeah.
having a scholarship, and I'm like, no, I'm here to win. I'm not going to be sitting here taking L's.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we had a winning season, even when we won the Lone Star South Conference before we switched, that wasn't enough for me because we had too many L's on our record.
Yeah.
Keeping honest with you, but it was definitely different just because these people now I'm dealing with a different dynamic of people. You know, out there it was people from Cali, maybe a few out of towners, but they kind of had to adjust to us. And
Mm-hmm.
then, you know what I mean, maybe Polynesians. That's it. But we all this is all what I grew up around. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Out there, these people are country. They don't understand this, that, and the third. They don't understand how I dress, how I talk. They're enamored by how me and AD move. Every move they're enamored by. You know what I mean? From the socks that we wear and everything. They start wearing active socks and everything at the school. You know what I mean? So that's how much we changed the school. You know what I mean? That's how much of an impact we had on that. And it's crazy, but um when you don't want that type of responsibility, you kind of don't pay attention to how vital it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you have that type of responsibility, and even if you don't want it, you have to be responsible with it because these people will follow you. They're watching you and they're following you. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what happened. Like it was all good until certain situations happened, and then the coach felt away, and then I started feeling away, and then the other and this is towards the end of the season, our second year. Then the players started following and mimicking the attitude that I'm having. You know what I mean? And with all due respect, it was warranted
Yeah.
because what was happening was wrong, but still me being older and I feel like I could have dealt with that a little bit differently. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and I don't regret. I don't regret anything. I learned my lesson on a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. So you guys turned the program around. You guys 2 years there, and you balling out during this time as well. So that's what people need to understand. Now, is it true, bro, that you got invited to the D2 combine?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I went out.
so but before you say you ain't be done, people need to understand D2 combine is not easy to get invited to. Like
Oh no.
it's not like the Division 1 where it got multiple people and everybody do a pro day. In D2, if you don't get invited, you're
Yeah,
essentially done. Like your career
yeah.
is done. There is no
Yeah.
D2 pro days. You only
No.
get invited to this combine. So for you to get invited to the D2 combine, that's a accomplishment right there, bro. So can you explain that preparation and how that went for you?
Um. Once again, this is like I didn't expect it. I
Yeah.
did not expect it. And this is one thing where you gotta always plan. And when you doing this football thing, and if you plan to excel any further, you kind of gotta be open to everything that can possibly happen, especially when you're putting yourself in position for these things to happen. You know what I mean? And I put myself in position for these things to happen, but didn't expect what to happen. So when I got offered it, once again, I'm thinking I'm done. Same, pretty much the same aspect as what happened the other season. I'm thinking I'm done. And when I got it, I was just like, what is this D2? I'm like, this, you know what I mean? I kind of shrugged it off.
Yeah.
And I had to sit back there and think. And I was like, I did research on it and everything. And I'm like, you're right. I found out like not everybody's doing this. I'm thinking everybody else that's playing here is getting invited to this combine. I didn't realize like it was me and like one other guy, you know what I mean, who got invited to this combine from our school. And he ended up playing in the NFL for a little bit too, but he went to a different, I forgot what combine he went to, but um yeah. So it was different because now I'm in another state and I only have access to the college weight room. I don't have a personal trainer. I don't have all of these things that come with the D1 pro days. So now it's essentially up to me to get my butt up, run my miles, run my 40s, do my L drills, do my ladder drills, keep my footwork together, keep lifting on my own. And I did it, and I think I did it fairly well in my combine. But it's you have to be like you gotta have your type of mentality, dude. Like people I don't know if people understand your type of mentality, dude. You are a grinder, bro. This like you have to have that mindset that once you locked in, you're locked in, and there's nothing that's gonna stop you. And that's one thing I always seen in you. Like there was nothing that stopped you, even when you was the smallest safety I ever seen in my life, out there tearing them up, giving picks. You know what I mean? So this like you kind of gotta if you're not gonna be locked in there, you can miss your opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just, like I said, you have to have it's not easy at this point when you're at this D2 NIAA stuff. You're gonna have to dig deep and put yourself in really great positions. You're gonna have to sit up there, buckle down, and know that once you get this D2 pro day, it's not it. You have to stay in shape because if you did well enough, there's going to be a follow up, and then a follow up, and then after that, depending on where you go, if you end up going to other teams, like me, I did okay for what I feel, but I still got workouts with some Canadian football teams. I mean, I had a workout with the Lions and I work out with the Eskimos. I mean, I didn't end up playing with them, but that's what came from it. You know what I mean? And just imagine what would have came if I was more prepared. If I had sat up there and been like, you know what, this is I'm not accepting anything else, just like I was when Dante had told me that. If I would have had that mentality, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, man. So that's like I said, bro. The journey, bro, from to coming to Mount Sac to on the cuffs of even playing professional football, bro. Like it's truly amazing, bro. And people don't even understand the in between. Cause
Yeah,
we all dealing with stuff. We all of us
yeah,
are dealing with things in life. And for you to still on top of that, still arise and get to moments that we only dream of, bro. Like that's amazing, man. And
yeah.
you mentioned it before too about once your final game, your mindset. But what was it like? Now you like JUCO once again. You like I don't know what's after this, and of course college football. Every player is like this. You be like,
Mm-hmm.
is it over? What am I doing? Am I going after another workout, or am I continuing on my football career? What was that mindset prior to you even getting that combine invite for that last games?
Um, it's bittersweet because when you've been doing something your whole life, and then it's like it's not necessarily taken away, but it just has to come to an end, or you don't even know that if it is coming to an end. You start having this flood of thoughts. What am I going to do? What? I mean, if you're not fully prepared and have this backup plan, and just well, even when I make it to the pros, I'm going to do this, and this after I'm done, and have this as a backup. You don't have to have it as a backup, like oh, if I don't make it, football is going to end at some point. It doesn't matter how old you are, football is going to end. So you need to have a backup plan other than that. And
Mhm.
for those, if you don't have something in mind that you would like to do or something to kind of transition to, it can be rough because you got to remember how much time I put in. Like I'm sitting up there spending pretty much day in and day out with you guys. You know what I mean? And this is even at SAT. Dude, we first thing in the morning till the sun goes down.
Mhm.
We seen each other at class. We seen each other in the weight room. And then even worse in when you living on campus, you dealing with these people every day. And then now it's like everything stops.
Yeah.
Some people are still playing ball. You don't you what are you gonna do? You keep going to the weights. It's just a feeling of limbo. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, it's a feeling of limbo if you don't have a solid, game plan and a solid understanding of where you're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So now you have transitioned into business, man. Can you explain, share exactly what you do, and then what inspired you to start your business and what you're doing now?
Right now I do personal training and I teach Muay Thai, I train jiu-jitsu and MMA. I got into this because my father used to box. And so he never let me box. So as soon as I figured out a way to get myself into anything close to boxing, this was it. You know what I mean? And so I got into Muay Thai, and that was one of those things I stuck around long enough. And it's crazy because I actually had an opportunity to coach football before I left Oklahoma, and I was not in. I did not. I don't feel like that wasn't for me at the time. And when I came back out to Cali, I ended up being a coach in the gym by
Mhm.
default. Like it literally fell in my lap. You know what I mean? And I've been doing that, and and like you said, it turned into a business for me now. And it's amazing. It's amazing how sometimes the stuff that you don't want to do ends up being the stuff that you end up having to do or need to do, or that's even just best for you to do. Even if you choose not to do it anyway, that might be the best thing for you to do. And this just happened to be one of those things. And I'm glad I was able to fall back to the gym and the people that I ran into because just like my football career, I did not expect to be doing this. I did not expect to be t- uh, doing personal training in privates for this long. Um, but it manifested itself after a while, and this is one of those things that kept me. Yeah. I apologize, man. My phone it went out right now. I'm gonna have to change the angle for a second so that we don't lose
Okay.
signal again.
Okay.
There's the business of training fighters and all that stuff. It just, like I said, it just kind of it fell into my lap because this is something I like to train. I've been an athlete my whole life, so I've been training this. I was actually training this when before I played football off and on here and there. So I've been dealing with Muay Thai just as long as I've been doing with football and stuff. I just never was consistent with it. And when I didn't have football, I needed something to, I still had a lot of energy and a lot of stuff in me. So it worked out perfect that I found, went back to Muay Thai and then essentially found Jiu-Jitsu. Um, but yeah, man, all this stuff, it's weird, man. I'd be lying if I said I planned any of this.
Yeah.
I'd be lying to you guys if I said I plan to be where I'm at right now. I couldn't even do it. You know what I mean, but it's just you gotta be aware and be open to the blessings that's coming to you because they there. You know what I mean? And if you're too busy trying to do what you want to do instead of what's being given to you and offered to you and the opportunity, you you'll see. You know what I mean? So
That's real talk right there, man. Uh,
yeah.
so where can people find you if they look into? Are you taking on new clients, and how do they reach out to you to start training with you?
You could reach out through me on Instagram at the New Black Standard. It's the way I have it on the wall is not the way I have it for my handle, but I'll send it to you to make sure we tag it. If not, there I'm at a gym called Tiger Nine in Pomona. They're just revamping everything, so I teach there as well. But I move around. I teach a lot of kids, so if I'm not here teaching at this facility right here with one of my other clients, I'm going to the clients' houses and so on and so forth. So if you reach out to me on IG, or if they can reach out to me through you, whatever, I'll give them a link to you, and yeah, we can always work it out because some people aren't able to get to the gym, and I come to you. You know what I mean? So
That's awesome, bro. This is my last question, man, and I'll let you get out of here, man. This your story just alone, like I said, just inspirational, bro. But what are some gems that you can give to the next generation of guys playing football, or just some advice you can just share from all that you've been through or experienced in life, man?
one, you don't get it back. Two, you don't know who's watching, when they watching, and why they're watching. Three, um, stay physically ready. Like when I say physically ready, stay running. There's no off season.
Mhm.
There is no off season. Um, and surround yourself with like-minded people. You surround yourself with people that's goal orientated, that they may not even be playing football or this, that, and the third, but they have things that they want to achieve. Because you can hang around people like that, it'll help you stay on track. If you hang around the people that's not like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to stay on track. And don't believe the hype, because you always got to. Every day's a new day. It don't matter how your best game was. You you still got to show up the next day. So that's if that's what I could leave you guys with, that's what I would say. You know what I mean?
For real, bro. Definitely appreciate you for your time, man. You already know, much love, man. Hope
To you, brother.
future endeavors as well, man. Much success to you, man.
Man, appreciate you, man. Good talking to you, brother.
Always, man. We got to connect too soon.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Congratulations on the new one too.
Appreciate it, my guy. Appreciate it.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.